Hey Andrew, this is Anil. I'm trying to solution your requirement. So basically, you are saying that you have two fields. One is the contract name, and one is the WBS prefix, which comes from two different tables. Like one is coming from the contract table, and one is coming from the company table, right? And then you are trying to build the actual WBS code column based on those two fields, right? Uh, so I'll try to implement something similar, right? I have this test form that I'm using. It's called community test. This is for testing purpose. So first I'll create a new column here, uh, right? Uh, I'll call it WBS code. I'll make it a string. I'll make it as medium of the field length, and then I'll try to add that and save it. Uh, Now I need to identify like which two fields will add, I mean, or you know, which two fields will be used to build this column, right? So let's say we pick up the um, name, for example. I mean, this can be WBS code, but I'm using name, right? Name from the company table. So I need the column name here, which is name. So let me capture that in a notepad, right? The table name is going to be core underscore company, and column name is equal to name, right? And then from the contract, I'm going to use, let's say, like the contract model or the vendor name, right? So let me pick that up. So the column name is AST underscore contract. Table name is AST underscore contract, and column name is equal to vendor, right? Uh, so that's what I picked up. Okay, vendor. So now I have the two columns that I want and the tables from which I'm picking this up. So now the next question is, how do you want to populate this WBS code, right? So let's say I want to do it on insert or on save. It's up to me. So depending on that, I have to create the business rule or any other script for that matter, right? So let's, for argument's sake, or for this article sake, we'll just do it as a business rule, right? So uh, so I'm going to create a business rule called populate WBS code, and it can be an after business rule on insert, for example. And then I have to like write the code which basically tells me like from where to fetch that information, right? So that's what I have to do next. So for that, I need to write a glide record and then do that fetch. Okay. So and again, I need to know like what is my the reference that I have to use for the company and for the contract, because obviously there are a lot of company records, a lot of contract records, right? So I need to do that as well. So again, for this discussion purpose, let's pick up like any company record or any contract record and then use that. Okay. So first I'm trying to get the company record, right? For that, I'm using this get method based on sysID and sysID as the column. And to get the sysID of this record, I use this right click and then say copy sysID, and I use that to build the this query, right? So once I do this, then I just have to say where like uh, company name is equal to gr company dot name. Okay, because I already have got the record. So similarly, I'll do the same thing for the contract. So I start with building the glide record for the contract with the contract table called ASM underscore contract. So you can get the table name in the URL itself, right? So if you see the URL, or you can do it in like, for example, you do a show here on any column, it shows a table name here, right? So that's what I'm using. That's what I use here, and then I get a and then you get on the society column. So I have to get the sys of the contract. So I do a copy sys right? And then I paste that here. And then I get the contract name, and then I do this, right? But then we said we want to use the contract vendor column and not the name column. So I'm going to use that, and then vendor dot name. So I can get the the display value of the column, uh, and then instead of the actual column, because see vendor is a reference column, so it's going to get uh, you know the sys ID of it instead of the actual vendor name. So I'm going to use a get display value to get the vendor name. So I have got my contract name and the company name. Now I have to build the you know the WBS code. So I'm going to say like var WBS is equal to company name plus contract name, and then I'm going to say current dot you underscore uh, WBS code is equal to WBS, right? So that should populate the WBS code. Okay, let's save this one, right? And then test this. So now let's test this, right? I'm trying to have this. So I'm trying to create a new record, right? So let me start from here. So communities. So I'm going to go here to this table, create a new record, and this is a column that I have created. So let's save this, and you see that the record has the WBS code as 3com space visual. 3com is coming from the company name, right, which is here, and the visual is coming from the contract vendor name, right? And if you look at the business rule again, so we have made the business rule as insert business rule, which is whenever I insert a new record in this table, it updates this. It tries to run the business rule, and then have this advanced checked. So that's where this section comes up, and then we don't need this. So I'm going to get rid of that. So I'm trying to build a glide record on the company table and on the asset contract table, and I'm trying to fetch the record using the get function in both the tables, and then I'm trying to get this WBS code based on the two columns that I've fetched, right? And then I'm updating the column on the table with this value. So hope this is helpful, right? If you have any questions, so basically I'm trying to give you an approach that you can use to set the or to populate the value in your case, right? It need not be the same tables, but it kind of gives you an approach of how to try to get the table names and how to try to fetch the record using the glide record, and then how to populate the value, right? So yeah, try this and then let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you.